Welcome everyone, welcome to a special video. This video is all about Cristiano Ronaldo CR7, yes, and his sensational interview with Piers Morgan, where Cristiano Ronaldo CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo dishes the dirt on Manchester United, his colleagues, his management, and just generally about life. It's a really interesting interview. It's been trending everywhere. It looks like he's played his final game for Manchester United and he won't be returning. It's a sad end to, I would say, one of the best players ever to play for Manchester United and one of the best players in world football history. He's up there with Messi as one of the best players, and it's unfortunate that he's had to come out and say all these things about Manchester United, and I can understand why it's caused a lot of upset with some of the Manchester United fans, the management, and the people behind the scenes. However, the interview itself is very interesting because it gives you an insight to what is actually going on in the mind of Cristiano Ronaldo. You don't really get to hear what his side of the events has been. You just simply get what media headlines we read, but we never get to hear from the horse's mouth, as it is, what is going on and why he's been acting up, shall we say, in recent months. Since the start of the season, we know Cristiano Ronaldo, there's been a problem with him. He's not been playing well. He didn't want to come back to Manchester United. He wanted to join someone else. It's clear that was the case, but why was that the case? Why would Cristiano Ronaldo want to leave Manchester United? Was he already dissatisfied with the actions of the Manchester United board? Let's go and listen to the interview. I'm going to react to it and I'm probably going to speak over it from time to time. I might pause it as well, but I hope you enjoy the reaction. I hope you enjoy the interview. Let's go.
Ferguson, but I think he did a good job. For sure, he need more time, but I'm never doubt that he's gonna be a good coach in the future. But it was a good experience. I was so pleased to work with him, even a short period.
What about the younger players and specifically their mentality? Because it seemed to me, just from what I was reading,
so he's just been talking about Solskjaer, by the way,
as a young 18-year-old, that you had huge respect for the older players, the Keanes and these guys in the dressing room, and you would soak up their experience, their wisdom and so on. Did you get that same respect, do you think, from the younger players?
I don't mean that they don't respect the experienced players or the oldest players. I don't think that word is the best one, but they live in a different era. I can see my kid, they have 12 years old. The mentality, they are not the same. They are not suffer that.
He's on point. He's on point.
The anger. I think the hunger. I think that they have the things more easily. Everything it's easily. They don't suffer. And I think they don't care. I don't mean only a few in Manchester United, but all the teams,
He's got a point. He's got a point. Come on, let's be honest.
They are not the same of my generation.
Players are not. They're not the same.
Blame them because it's part of the life. You know, the new generation.
They don't care. They don't care. You see it. You see so many footballers. Yeah.
They avoid. They distract them for another thing. So, but they are not the same. They listen, but this is why we have 2 years.
They haven't got the hunger. They haven't got the drive.
For another side, so. Don't surprise me, but in the same way, it's a little bit shame because if they have the best examples in front of your eyes and if they don't at least copy what you did for me, it's kind of weird because I remember when I was 18, 19, 20s, I'm always look to see the best players, Van Nistelrooy, Ferdinand, Roy Keane, and gigs. This is why I have the successful that I have and longevity, because I take care of my body.
Look, so he's got a point there. Look, he has got a serious point there, and this is why I'm not understanding why some people are getting upset about the interview. I can understand some of the information that he's given. I personally think where he goes on, I think in part 2 of the interview, to criticise the current manager Erik ten Hag, and I think that's where he steps over the line. But what he's saying right now in this interview is on point. You can't argue with that. He has got a point. I mean, if you've got someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, an icon of the game, in your changing room, you will be soaking up every tiny little thing he's doing. You'll be copying him. You'll be want to mirror what he's doing just so you can be 20% like him or 10% like him. You're not going to ignore what he has to say. And I think he was in a changing room when he was at his initial stint at Manchester United. He was with the likes of Roy Keane, like he says, Van Nistelrooy, like he says, Rio Ferdinand, and he soaked up what they had to tell him. He took in what they did and how they performed and what their routines were. You could argue that that's what made him one of the best players in the world, having a changing room full of really good top players, and he took 10% of each of them, and he made himself better. And that's what the product is. It's like, you're taking the best bits of everything, and at the end of it, you end up with an ultimate machine, which was Cristiano Ronaldo. He proved that when he went to Real Madrid and then obviously Juventus. That's what his point is. I think what's happened is he's gone into the new changing room, and the kids there don't really care. They're like, yeah, so what? We don't want to train hard. We don't want to do hard. And that was a mentality that had already been instilled in Manchester United players, and we all as fans could see this, because you could see the team not caring. And this was before Ronaldo actually came in, and he's probably just caught the end of what the players were like. I mean, right now in this current season, you could argue that they have been performing, they have been showing commitment, but in the previous years after Sir Alex Ferguson left, the players were not committed, and you could see that in their performances. Anyway, let's get back to the interview.
My mentality, my head, because I see these guys and I learn from them.
When you try and give advice to these younger players, what do you say to them? What do you try and guide them to be like?
I think the best advice, I'm not the kind of guy to like to give advices. I prefer to be as example. Yes. Because I'm an example. I'm there every morning. I do the same stuff. I'm probably the first ones to arrive and the last ones to go out.
Wow.
I think
still
the details speak for itself. So, because as I told you before, they listen one thing and in 2 minutes they already forgot and do it whatever they think it's better. This is why I say I like to lead by example. And some ones they follow me, not much, but
see, I find that I just find that incredible. That if I was a young footballer and I had Cristiano Ronaldo at my club, that I wouldn't want to spend every second watching him, listening to him, observing.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
And yet, from what you're saying, clearly, they're not interested.
They don't care. Some ones yes, but most of them no. But for me, it's not surprise me. Don't surprise me, because they're not gonna have longevity careers, in my opinion. It's impossible. It's impossible to see, for example, my generation, you see many players, they reach 36, 37, 38 in a high level. I think this generation, you're gonna count by your hands how many gonna reach in that level, because these years of preparation, it helps a lot. For example, if you tell me what I see, for example, in Manchester United, I can mention probably Dalot.
Wow,
Dalot.
one player.
For example, is young, but he's very professional.
Bruno Fernandes in that.
And I'm not doubt that you're gonna reach, you're gonna have longevity in the football.
Dalot has been performing really well,
he's smart,
I'd say, this
intelligent,
season.
And he's very professional. You have a few ones more, but like him, it's difficult to see. Probably Martinez,
of course.
Casemiro's 30s. But I will say Dalot.
Pause it there. This guy has so many adverts in the whole interview. He's milked the interview, actually. So Piers Morgan, he's not the ideal interview that I would have chosen for this interview, but Cristiano Ronaldo clearly thinks he's the one to go to for doing this exclusive interview. He's absolutely milked it with all the adverts, with all the trailers and stuff like that. But then again, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? He knows Cristiano Ronaldo is big time. He's gonna milk every second of it.
4 days after this terrible time in your life, United get a new manager, Erik ten Hag. Did you know much about him?
Erik ten Hag.
A little bit.
This is
through
interesting.
Ajax, the job that he did for Ajax.
You end the season with 24 goals for Manchester United, including 18 in the Premier League, 6 in the Champions League. You were second in the Golden Boot for the English football.
Yeah, he had a terrific
By any
season.
normal yardstick, that's an incredible performance.
Yes,
And yet you were still getting criticised.
he
It
was.
was almost like, well, it's got to be your fault, even though you scored all the goals. Were
Yeah.
you as bemused as I was
Yes.
that you were becoming the focal point for the criticism?
Yeah.
I think it's easy to point out when you want to cover other things. To point out Cristiano Ronaldo, it's easy. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that press they wanna put me in the first page because they know they will sell more. The dressing will be different,
Yeah, he's big news.
and I'm used
Big news.
to live like that because
You put him on the front page,
37, I know and I learn many things. When you are in the down of the wave, when you are in the top of the wave, you don't realize and you don't see things that you don't see before, which is I appreciate to have bad moments to see which people is in your side, who criticize you more, because they're looking for that. They don't like to see successful
Yeah.
people. The people only try to.
We should be
bring
respecting the guy,
negativism.
personally. I
And
think
I felt
he's
the last
one of the
4 or
best
5
footballers
months
in the
that-
world.
Not only for me, but even for my family as well, for Georgina, especially around the world, the press criticize me even more. Sometimes
That's
I
shocking.
don't understand why. Even Portuguese press that they criticize me a lot. I don't understand, but I still believe that the jealousy is part of that. They want to cover many things that helps to shine other things. But listen, Piers, I know I'm 21 years in the top of the game, so I know all it takes.
So this is really interesting. I'm going to stop it there because he's been criticised by many media outlets, many different types of people. He's even saying Portuguese press have been having a go at him. Now, I would argue, play devil's advocate here, but I think he brings that on himself, Ronaldo, because he carries himself very proud and very different to Messi, and I think the press and the media don't really like that. They don't like players who are confident and are happy about themselves, or cocky is probably the word, and someone who's really full of himself. But I guess that's what remarkable about Cristiano Ronaldo is he has made himself into a top football player. He is the epitome of how much effort someone can put in and then what you get out of that. He's an epitome of hard work and success as a result of hard work. He wasn't born with natural talent like Messi. It's all hard work and graft that's got him where he has. I think he's really proud of that, and that then sometimes comes out as he's being cocky and he's being up himself and he's really flamboyant and he's not humble enough. And I think the media don't like that, and the media go after him for that reason. But anyway, let's get back to this.
So for me, it's not a problem. It's hard when you are a little bit down to listen to this criticism.
Do you read it all? Do you read newspapers? Do you read social media?
Of course he does, mate.
A good thing that I have, I don't like to read because I know 90% of the times they lie. They are
Wow.
garbage. The press, they are garbage.
Wow.
Not all of them, but most of them. They don't say the truth. And they lie. They constant lie and they constant attack me and my family. They're always negativism against my family. Why I'm gonna read? Because I know they try to make me feel bad, me and my family, which is something hard to deal with.
Sad
But
days, man.
in the end of the day, I understand, but it's really hard.
The problem you have is you're too famous. You are the most followed human being on Instagram.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
495 million followers. I have just under 2 million on Instagram. 8 million on Twitter, so I'm catching you on Twitter slowly, but
That's crazy, man.
You're nearly at 500 million.
Half a billion followers, man.
I mean, that's insane. You're bigger than all the Kardashians put together.
Wow.
It's good. It's good. I feel proud for that.
That's cool.
It means a lot for me.
Good stuff,
because
man. Good stuff.
It means that people like me too. I'm charismatic. I think why I'm the number one. Sometimes I ask that question to myself. Why me and not another one?
Why do you think it is?
To be honest, not just only because
This is
play
what we
good
just
football,
discussed.
because everyone knows, but I think the rest is relevant. You have to be charismatic. People have to feel some connection with you. I think to be good looking helps too.
I have the same problem.
Full of himself a bit,
I
yeah.
feel the same way.
To be honest, Piers, I don't know the real reason, but I think I'm charismatic and I'm a appetitive fruit. I don't know if we
A what?
a fruit that
yeah.
people want to bite. I have good things, which is you can sell your own product, let's say in that way, but you have to deal with many obstacles in your life too.
Do you care if people hate you? I mean, a lot of people love you, but obviously a lot of people don't. You're so big, you're going to get both. But do you care about the ones who
I care.
hate Cristiano Ronaldo?
I care the people who like me. I'm not waste time
Wow.
for the people who don't like me. I think it's waste of time. These people,
Yeah, he's putting it
they are
right.
not interesting on my life.
Wayne Rooney,
Wayne
who you
Rooney.
played with for many years very successfully.
Yes, yes.
And we're good friends with him. And yet
Rooney's.
all this year, 3 or 4
Turned
times
on him.
he's come out and attacked you in the media.
Piers, I don't understand. You should ask this question to him.
This is
but
odd because again,
I
I've not
don't know.
understood this either.
I don't know why he criticized me so
Yeah,
bad,
why would he?
or- I don't
says-
believe
he
that
says-
he's jealous of me.
He says your behaviour is unacceptable. United should sell you. You know, blah 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 blah. I mean, it's Wayne Rooney. It's not
Surprised
like
me.
a-
It was 1
Yeah,
year
he
ago.
was saying this
6
last
months
year
ago
as well,
here
in
my
last
house.
season.
He pick up his kids here and invite Cristiano to go to his house to play football. I really don't understand people like
They
that.
were
or
mates literally a year
if
ago.
they
Then
wanna be in the cover of the paper, of the news, or they want a new jobs or whatever.
Is it jealousy as well, perhaps, that you're still playing and still in the Man
Probably,
United red
probably
shirt?
because he finished his career with 30s, so I'm still playing high level.
ooh, that's
I'm
that's
not gonna
harsh.
say that
That's a
I'm
low
looking better
blow.
than him, which is true, but but
That is inarguable. I mean, there's no contest.
it's hard to listen that kind of criticize and negative about people who play with you. For example,
Yeah,
Gary
it,
Neville
it
as
would
well.
be. It would be
Yeah,
Gary
I mean,
Neville.
Gary Neville,
wow.
you blanked him the other day.
Ooh, that
on
that
the
was
pitch, and he looked quite
that was
upset,
funny.
actually.
That was funny.
Because he obviously likes being your friend, but
Yeah.
he's been pretty critical of you as well.
He has been.
When
He
you
has
have
People
been.
can have his own opinion, but they don't really know what's going on. For example, inside the
Exactly,
training ground
exactly.
and Carrington area,
Yeah.
or even my life, they should listen not only one point of view. They have
Yeah.
to listen my point of view as well.
Yeah, they
Because
know
it's
that
easy
there's a
to
problem within
criticize,
United.
but if you don't know the old story, it's easy, you know. But it's Piers, as I say before, it's part.
Are they
of,
still friends of yours, or do you have
Yeah,
a line
right.
where
They are not my friends. They are colleagues. We play together. They're not coming. We not have a dinner together, for example.
Yeah, not having dinner together. Of course not.
But as I told you, Piers, before, it's part of my journey. They keep criticize me, negativism every time. So I continue my trip.
He's bigger than
and,
them. Let's be
I have
honest.
to catch up the people who like me.
some of your ex-colleagues have been incredibly supportive? Rio Ferdinand
Yeah.
has always got your back.
Rio
Roy
has.
Keane always
Keano.
has your back. Whatever happens, he's always supported you
Yeah.
and has continued to do so. Does that mean a lot to you?
It means a lot because I was in the dressing room with them. They are part of my journey in football as well. As I mentioned many times, Roy Keane for me was my best captain ever.
Wow.
Rio Ferdinand helped me a lot. He was
Captain
my neighbor.
ever.
I was
Wow,
his neighbor.
best captain ever.
So very
Insane.
good guys. Not just because they speak good about me, but they was there in the dressing room. They are football players. They know how players thinking and the behaves, etc. And to listen ex colleagues or teammates to criticize you and they always see one point of view.
Do you feel a bit betrayed when they do that?
Yes,
Because you played
Oh,
together.
of course you do,
It's easy to
dude.
criticize. I don't know if you
Of course.
a job in television.
Especially
that
when
they
it's
must
someone like Gary Neville, come on.
criticize to be more famous. I really don't understand.
Do you think they use your name a bit to get attention?
I think they take advantage of that because they are not stupid. And I really understand, and I have to carry on with my life with criticize or
He's not said anything wrong there.
when the
I
people
would
speak
say the
good
same.
about you, but it's hard when you see people who was in the dressing room with you criticizing that way.
It must hurt
It's
you.
not good.
Yeah.
Yes, I did, but
A bit.
not hard. I'm not gonna be more slim. I'm not gonna sleep bad because of the criticize. But it's not good to listen that.
Disappointing.
A little bit, yes.
That is part one of the interview, and I'm going to leave it there because we've got part two to come. What my thoughts are right now on the first part of the interview are quite simple. Cristiano Ronaldo has made some decent points. We are still waiting on the revelations with the Glazers, and we're waiting on his relationship with lifting lid on the relationship with Erik ten Hag. What went wrong? Why has Erik ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo not got on? I can take a guess at what's been going on, and he alludes to that already. It's clear that Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't feel loved at the club. Whatever's happening, they're not treating him as he ought to have been treated, and that's why he's probably come out and done this interview, because no player really is going to go and do that. Cristiano Ronaldo has been a professional for a long time. He's not done anything like this before, and then he suddenly come out and done this, even though I can also appreciate what everyone else is saying, which is he shouldn't have done this interview because it's brought Man United into turmoil, and he's probably going to affect the players, his colleagues and stuff. However, something has to be done. Something has to be done from within, and someone has to lift the lid. You cannot just simply take the abuse that's been thrown at him by ex-football players, his ex-teammates, saying that he's the issue, he's the problem, when he's not. He is a world-class striker who's available to play for Manchester United, and he's an icon of the game, so he must be amazing in the dressing room to have, where now the players, clearly his fellow players, are not taking him seriously, or have not taken him seriously. They do not want to work as hard as he does, and that's what his issue is. He probably wants to be a Roy Keane in there. He wants to be a captain in there, and he wants to grab everyone and take them where they need to be. Clearly the management, clearly the board, and clearly the players around him don't want to do that, and that's why I think he's come out and had this interview. We are waiting on the second part of the interview, and that's probably going to reveal a lot more information as to what he thinks about the club behind the scenes. This part of the interview was all about his relationship with Wayne Rooney, which is clearly broken down. Gary Neville, it's clearly broken down. If I was in his position, I'd probably do the same. I think you would do as well. Let's wait on and see. I'm going to do a second part of this interview reaction, and I'm thinking it's going to be crazy if he goes into the board and he goes into the ownership. Erik ten Hag, for me personally, I think he shouldn't have brought him in to the whole interview, because he's a new manager. He has got his own philosophy. He clearly does not see Cristiano Ronaldo as part of that philosophy and going forward how he plays. But everyone knew this. Everyone knew Erik ten Hag needed a pressing system. He was going to play a pressing system, and he likes forwards that could press, and Cristiano Ronaldo is not one of those forwards. He's not going to press. So we already knew all this. We already knew Erik ten Hag will not want to play Cristiano Ronaldo in his system and does not suit his system. It's not a surprise that they didn't get on. However, what is a surprise is the outfall of the entire season and what's been going on. And what is a surprise is his thoughts on the ownership and Glazers and the club itself, not just the manager, but the club itself and where that's going, because that's what I want to hear in the second part of the interview. I want to hear what's actually going on behind the scenes, because we all know, watching Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson's departure has been absolute torture, and something's not right. I believe it. I believe that the club has failed to move and evolve within the times, and they've not moved their facilities forward. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world. They should have been doing much more investment into the stadium, into the training facilities to attract the best players to come here. And clearly players don't want to come to Manchester United for a reason. There must be a reason why. And the clear reason I can think of is because you don't want to go play for a club that's going backwards or not moving forward. On the other side of the city, you've got Manchester City. They have got state-of-the-art facilities. They've been pumping money in to get everything sorted and plan for the future. And if you're a player such as Haaland, of course you'd go there. Why would you not? Because you know that the future is bright on that side of the city, whereas Old Trafford are still stuck in the 90s. And why would you want that? Anyway, guys, I'm going to ramble on more and more. I think I'm going to make it even more intense. I should have interviewed Cristiano Ronaldo. I think I would have done a better job than Piers Morgan. Please subscribe. Please smash that like button. Take care. Take it easy. Goodbye.